Hello. Today we're going to look at solving ninth grade level equations. We're going to do that. So we're going to write solving equations by simplifying. So if you remember like any kind of math you did in middle school, right? Usually you start with some kind of problem and you work your way down to an answer. I think if we use this idea of simplifying, it'll help us kind of visualize where we're going. So we're just going to break this down though into 3 steps. So the first step when you see a ninth grade level equation is your first thought should be to simplify. So you're asking yourself, can I simplify? And then the second step is just going to be moving the pieces around. So you're going to simplify, you're going to move the pieces around, and then the goal is to isolate. Okay, so here's 3 actions: simplify, move, isolate. I got another color just to kind of show the steps, so my thinking is going to happen in green today. If you need to pause and grab a different pen or something, you can do that too. So let's get to it. We're going to do 2 examples. The first is going to involve distributing. So I'll start with 3 parentheses 2x minus 4 equals 8x plus 14. Okay. And so you should see this, and right away you should be paused here and be wondering, what do I need to do here, right? Because in middle school, I learned that I would normally start inside of the parentheses. But if I have a 2x minus 4, it's like having apples and bananas, right? I can't put those together because I have things that are not the same. I don't know what x is. And so right away I'm thinking, how can I make that look easier? So I'm just going to separate the 2 sides. I'm going to start on the left, right, because I read from left to right. And I'm going to distribute that 3 with the idea that we'll make 3 things into 2 things. So 3 times 2x gives us 6 x's. 3 times negative 4 gives us negative 12, right? And if it helps, you can put a little multiply sign there, but this is just like an adjective. It's describing everything inside of the parentheses. So 3 2x's, 3 negative 4's makes 6x minus 12. I'm going to bring the other side down. And what I'll see now is just what should look like an 8th grade equation, right? And so what I essentially did here was, in step 1, this is where the simplifying is happening, okay? So in this case, I simplified using the distributive property, but that was just to get this 1, 2, 3 things down to 1, 2 things, right? So once I'm here, I should notice that on the left, there's things that look kind of like things on the right. I'm going to box my variables just so I can kind of see what to connect. I'm going to circle my constants, or just my plain numbers, right? So constants and plain numbers are the same thing. And what I want to do is I want to move the letters to one side. I want to move the numbers to the other, right? So I want to move the variables to one side. I usually try to move my x's to the left and my numbers to the right, just because I know that I read left to right. And the whole goal, right, is to get x by itself. So I want it to be x and then a number. So I'm going to move the variables to the left, right? So this is step 2, move. And I'll show this in green. So we're going to move 8x. That's a positive 8x. So I'm going to move it with a negative 8x. Anything I do to one side, I'm going to do to the other. Right? So x's go with x's. And then I'll just do that math. So 8x, take away 8x, that makes this go away. 6x minus 8x makes negative 2x. And then I'm just going to bring down everything I haven't used yet. So negative 12 equals, and we'll just put that there. So positive 14. Okay. So in this step, I just moved, and I'm going to keep going. So negative 2x minus 12 equals positive 14. This now looks like a 7th grade level equation. I need to get that constant moved over here, so I'm going to move again. And this time I'm going to use my green, right? So to move a negative 12, I add 12, right? That's going to make it go away. Anything I do to one side, I do to the other. And now what I have is Negative 12 and positive 12 cancels out. Positive 14, positive 12 makes a positive 26. Notice I'm just keeping that plus sign from the beginning all the way down just so I remember this is a positive 26. And then on the left side, right, I'm just going to bring that negative 2x down. Okay? So again, all I did there was I moved the numbers to the right side. So I have a variable here, I have a constant here. My last step is to isolate. So it helps sometimes just to kind of put in between. So this negative 2x, negative 2 is the coefficient, right? It attaches to the variable using the operation of multiply. We just don't always show that, but it helps to see it because how do I get rid of that negative 2 times x? I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to divide by negative 2. And on the right side, I'm going to divide by negative 2. Just because that's some math. I'm actually going to change the color on that, so I apologize. Just trying to show my steps in green. Okay, negative 2 over negative 2 in 6th grade, we learned that that just makes a 1. X comes down. And then positive 26 divided by negative 2, you can do that in the calculator to find out that it's negative 13. Okay? So my last step here was to isolate, which just means I want to get the x by itself. Simplify, move, isolate. Notice there's two moves here, right? We need to move the variables, we need to move the constants, but isolate just gets us the x equals negative 13. Okay? So what that means is, if I were to take the negative 13 and replace x with negative 13, here and here, right, what I would equal on this side would be the same as what this equals on this side, right? So it's balanced, and that's what we're trying to do.